Do you ever feel like you're just constantly busy? Like you're running around ticking off boxes, but when you look at your big goals, they haven't really moved much. It's that feeling, right? Doing so much, but maybe not the right things. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into something that could totally flip that script, the 80-20 principle. You might also know it as the Pareto principle. Our mission here isn't just to, define it. We want to really unpack how powerful this idea is, drawing from a lot of research, and show you how it can genuinely help you get way more done, but with, surprisingly, less grind. And who's this for? Well, studies in behavioral economics suggest it's pretty much for anyone stuck in that busy but not getting anywhere cycle. If you've got big dreams but feel swamped, if you're a professional aiming for real impact, not just hours clocked, parents juggling everything, basically anyone into personal growth who wants more, well, balance. The core idea sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? Like 80% of your results come from just 20% of your effort. But the magic, the real trick, is figuring out what that 20% actually is.
It really is fascinating, and its origin is kind of unexpected. It's
Ah.
named after Vilfredo Pareto, an Italian economist way back in the early 20th century. He was looking at wealth distribution and noticed something striking. About 80% of the land in Italy was owned by just 20% of the people. And then he started seeing this pattern pop up elsewhere, like apparently 80% of the peas in his garden came from only 20% of the pea pods. A bit quirky but revealing.
Keys. Okay, so from land to legumes, how did that become a productivity principle?
Right, well, that leap came decades later. A management consultant named Joseph Juran, he picked up on Pareto's observation and saw it as a universal thing, especially in quality management. He basically said, look, in almost any system, a small number of causes, the vital few, create the majority of the effects, the results. And the flip side is that most of what we do, the trivial many, actually contributes very little. So the key insight for us is shifting focus. Most people, they react to what feels urgent,
Hmm.
but the research is really clear. True leverage comes from identifying and prioritizing that crucial, important 20%, even if it doesn't scream, do me now.
Ah, okay, so it's importance over urgency.
Exactly. And this applies everywhere, your job, your projects, even relationships. Think about it. A small number of your connections probably account for, like
Yeah,
80% of your happiness and
I
support.
hear.
Right. So yeah, our journey today is really about digging into how we find and, amplify that powerful 20% in all parts of life.
That's a really powerful way to look at things. Okay, let's dive into the practical side. Identifying your vital few. This isn't about doing more, is it? It's about finding that high impact slice. But how do you actually do that? When everything feels important, how do you find that golden 20%?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It really boils down to being deliberate, almost like a detective for your own life. First step, you got to get super clear on your most important goals, not the day-to-day noise, but the big picture stuff. Then you look at your actual tasks and activities, and you have to be honest. Which ones really directly move the needle on those specific goals?
Okay, so link activities directly back to the big goals.
Precisely.
Hmm.
At work, maybe it's not answering every single email instantly, but dedicating focused time to that critical report or that key client meeting. At home, maybe it's that protective family dinner time or prepping meals so evenings aren't total chaos. And it's the same with relationships. Who are the people who genuinely fill your cup, who motivate you, who you feel, truly yourself around? Those are your vital few connections.
Right. Not just everyone you know.
Exactly. And for activities, evaluate them based on joy, fulfillment, or actual progress towards what you want long term. Learning a skill, genuine relaxation, creative work, not just busy work.
Okay, so it's about clarity and direct impact. How do you make that happen systematically?
Well, the research points to a pretty solid four-step process. First, track your time for a week. And I mean really track it, what you did, how long, and critically, how it made you feel and what it actually produced.
Like a time diary, but with feelings and results attached.
Exactly. Step two, analyze that diary. Look for patterns. What activities consistently delivered high value or real satisfaction? What just drained you without much to show for it? Step
Mhm.
three, prioritize. Based on that analysis, make a short, focused list. Your top tasks, your key relationships, your most impactful activities. This is your 20%. Be ruthless.
Okay, identify the winners.
Yep. And finally, step four, take action. Start consciously shifting your time and energy towards those vital few. Schedule them in first. Protect that time. Say no to things that pull you away from them. Think about Jane, the project manager example. She tracked her time, found 10 hours a week were sucked up by rambling meetings, just, gone.
10 hours. Wow.
Yeah. But then she saw that just 5 hours spent coaching her team individually. That led to huge performance jumps, massive returns.
So she shifted her focus.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And she also realized her morning gym session wasn't just exercise, it powered her whole day. So she prioritized the coaching and the gym, cut back on the less productive meetings. Result: better team, less stress, more energy. It wasn't about more hours, it was about pinpoint focus.
That's a brilliant illustration. It's not about adding, it's about reallocating to where the leverage is. Which brings us to the other side of the coin, getting rid of the trivial many. Because let's face it, we live in a world just full of distractions, right? Emails pinging, social media notifications, meetings that drone on.
Oh, absolutely. And these aren't just minor annoyances. They actively steal your focus and energy from the things that truly matter. The core strategy here is, well, ruthless elimination or minimization. Think about Jack, the software developer. He was always busy, calendar totally packed, but felt like he was spinning his wheels. Why?
Let me guess. Emails, meetings, admin.
You got it. Constant stream of non-urgent emails, meetings that went nowhere, tiny admin tasks. They ate up his day, leaving little room for the deep coding work that actually produced value. His breakthrough wasn't working longer hours. It was identifying and then courageously cutting out those trivial tasks that didn't really contribute to his success.
Okay, so how do we do that? How do we identify and ditch our own trivial many?
All right, here's a practical approach, backed by research. First, identify them. And be brutally honest. Ask, what do I do every day that eats time but gives little back towards my main goals? What could I stop doing? And honestly, nobody would notice or care. Like Sarah, who tracked her online time and realized, whoa, hours were vanishing into just browsing shopping sites. Buying stuff she didn't need, feeling guilty later. Seeing it plainly was the first step.
Ouch. Yeah, awareness is key. Then what?
Second, prioritize what matters. Put your trivial list next to your vital few list. See the difference? Now consciously shift your focus, your energy, your prime time to those high-impact activities. Third, look hard at delegating or automating. Can someone else do this non-essential task? Can technology handle it? Emma, the artist, used a meal delivery service. Felt like an expense, but boom, hours saved from shopping and cooking went straight into her art, her real income generator.
Smart trade-off.
Totally. Or think about email filters, auto-paying bills, scheduling social media posts. Automate the mundane. Fourth, and this is often the toughest, set clear boundaries. Learn to say no, politely but firmly, to things that don't align with your priorities. It's not being selfish, it's protecting your ability to contribute where it counts most.
Like David, the consultant with the office hours.
Exactly. He set boundaries to protect his deep work time. It took discipline, maybe ruffled a few feathers initially, but ultimately improved his focus and results. People respected his time more.
Makes sense. Any other quick tips?
Yeah, things like a digital detox now and then can reset your focus. Batching similar tasks like all emails at once saves mental energy. Even decluttering your physical desk can help clear your head. And remember, this isn't a one-time fix. You got to revisit this, maybe monthly. Ask, okay, what new trivial stuff has crept in? Keep refining.
That discipline, setting boundaries, it really connects to time management. You know, time's the one thing we all share, 24 hours a day. But some people just seem to squeeze so much more out of it. So applying this 80-20 idea to time, what does that actually look like? How do we work smarter, not just harder or longer?
Well, the core shift is thinking about the impact of your time, not just the quantity of it. If 80% of your results come from 20% of your time, managing that 20% effectively is absolutely critical.
Yeah.
So first step in working smarter is prioritizing your time ruthlessly. Make that to-do list, sure, but immediately star or highlight the high-impact tasks, the ones tied directly to your big goals.
The 20% tasks.
Exactly. Then use something like the Eisenhower box, urgent, important, but use it strategically. Don't just categorize. Notice where you spend your time. Too much in urgent but not important. That's busy work.
Ah, the trap.
Right. The real gold is in quadrant 2.
Mm.
Important but not urgent. That's where strategic planning, learning, relationship building happens, your big walks. You need to proactively schedule time for that quadrant.
So protect the important, even if it doesn't feel immediately urgent.
Precisely. Focus relentlessly on those high-impact tasks. If you're growing a business, maybe crafting the marketing strategy is way more impactful than tweaking the website font for the 5th time. And you absolutely have to build defenses against time wasters. Limit social media, sure, but maybe use apps to block distracting sites during focus periods. Turn off notifications. And practice that graceful no to low-priority requests.
Saying no is a recurring theme here.
It's crucial. Another big one is batching tasks. Group similar things together. Answer all emails in one block. Make all calls in another. It cuts down on the mental cost of switching gears all the time.
Right, less context switching.
Yeah. A writer might write in the morning, handle emails in the afternoon, schedule meetings for Tuesdays. Structure helps focus. Tools like Trello, Asana, calendar apps are great for this. And don't forget the Pomodoro technique, those 25-minute sprints with short breaks. It's not just about managing time, it trains your focus. And counterintuitively, taking breaks actually boosts productivity and prevents burnout. Design your energy, not just your schedule.
Designing your energy. I like that. It makes me think of that analogy, the jar with the big rocks, pebbles, and sand.
Oh yeah, the classic.
Right. The big rocks are your top priorities. Pebbles are kind of important. Sand is all the trivial stuff. If you pour the sand in first,
No room for the big rock.
exactly. But put the big rocks in first, then the pebbles, then the sand fits around them. It's such a clear visual for why prioritizing the important stuff first is essential.
It is. And it highlights how easily the small, urgent things can crowd out what truly matters if we're not careful.
Yeah.
Living that analogy is the real challenge.
So how do we make sure our big rocks always get in the jar? What are the steps?
Okay, building on what we've discussed, the process looks something like this. First, clarify your goals. Be incredibly specific about what you truly want to achieve long term. Second, rank them. Seriously, which 20% of these goals will give you 80% of the satisfaction or progress you're looking for? This is hard but vital.
Force yourself to choose the most important ones.
Exactly. Third, break those top goals down into actual concrete tasks. Improve health is vague. Walk 30 minutes daily and plan healthy meals Sunday are actionable tasks. Fourth, revisit urgency versus importance, but specifically for these tasks related to your top goals. Is preparing for tomorrow's meeting urgent and important? Yes. Is blocking time next week to plan the next quarter's project important but not urgent? Yes. It's a big rock, schedule it now.
Got it. Plan for the important, non-urgent stuff.
Yes. Which leads to step 5. Create your priority plan. Literally, schedule your big rock activities into your calendar first. Treat them like unbreakable appointments. And keep using those tools and strategies, the 80-20 lens, which 20% of these tasks yield 80%. Regular reviews, daily, weekly, to stay on track, and that powerful word no, to guard your big rock time.
Okay, but what about distractions? Life happens.
True, you need to proactively create a focused environment. Turn off notifications, find a quiet space, maybe use focus apps or music, take those short breaks to reset, and stay connected to your why. Why are these goals important? Use vision boards, journals, whatever keeps that motivation front and center. Like Anna, the aspiring graphic designer, her big rocks were clear. Improve skills, build a killer portfolio, land a great job.
Okay.
She scheduled it. Mornings for portfolio work, afternoons for skill courses, evenings for networking applications. Relentless focus on those big rocks. And guess what? She landed her dream job fast. It works.
That really drives it home. Focus on the vital few yields disproportionate results. It suggests productivity isn't about sheer effort, is it?
Not at all. It's about leverage. Working smarter with intention. The research on peak performance is full of strategies for getting more done with, well, less brute force.
Like what? What are the key strategies?
Okay, first, as we've said, laser focus on high-impact activities. The writer focusing on writing, not just email. That's job 1. Second, prioritize intelligently. Constantly ask, is this urgent or is it truly important? Spend your best energy on the important. Third, batch similar tasks. Reduce that mental friction. Group calls, emails, errands.
Efficiency through grouping.
Yep. Fourth, automate ruthlessly. If a machine or software can do a repetitive task, let it. Free up your human brain for higher-level thinking, email filters, bill pay, scheduling. Fifth, use frameworks like Pomodoro not just as timers, but to train intense focus in bursts. Sixth, leverage technology wisely. Use project management tools, Trello, Asana, etc., to organize, track, and collaborate, reducing mental clutter.
Tools as systems, not just lists.
Exactly. Seventh, master the strategic no. Protect your time and focus like a hawk. And finally, eighth, regularly evaluate and adjust. Your priorities shift, the world shifts. What worked last month might need tweaking. Stay agile. Continuously refine your approach.
That continuous improvement angle is key. It sounds like building the right systems, the right habits is fundamental. You mentioned habits make up almost half our day. That's huge.
It's staggering when you think about it,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Nearly half of what you do is likely on autopilot. So if you can intentionally design those habits to be productive, wow, that's massive leverage.
So how do we actually build good habits and break bad ones using this 80-20 lens?
Okay, the science of habit formation has some core principles. First and foremost, start ridiculously small. Want to meditate? Start with 1 minute. Want to read more? 1 page. Make it so easy you can't not do it. Build momentum.
The path of least resistance.
Precisely. Then there's the 2190 rule. It's more of a guideline, but the idea is consistency for about 3 weeks helps form the neural pathway, and around 3 months helps solidify it. So commit to that tiny habit daily for at least 21 days.
Okay, small steps, consistently. What else?
Identify your triggers. What kicks off a bad habit? Stress, boredom, location. Once you know the trigger, you can either avoid it or consciously choose a different response. If phone checking is triggered by downtime, maybe keep a book handy instead.
Replace the routine.
Exactly. And use positive reinforcement. Reward yourself for sticking to the new habit, even in small ways. Finish your focused work block. Enjoy 5 minutes of guilt-free scrolling or a cup of tea. Also, focus on replacing bad habits, not just stopping them. If stress makes you grab chips, have healthy snacks readily available, give your brain a better alternative.
Makes sense. What about support?
Hugely important. Get an accountability partner. Share your goal with someone. Check in regularly. It adds a layer of social commitment. And track your progress. Use a journal, an app, put X's on a calendar. Seeing the chain grow is incredibly motivating. Don't break the chain.
Oh, right.
And finally, be patient and persistent. You will slip up. Everyone does. The key isn't perfection. It's getting back on track quickly without beating yourself up. Learn from it, adjust, and keep going.
Building those systems seems crucial, especially for focus. In this world that's just constantly trying to grab our attention, how does focus itself become a tool for achieving more with less?
Focus is like a superpower in today's world. It's the ability to direct your mental energy intentionally. And when you combine that focus with the 80-20 principle directing intense focus onto your vital 20%, the results compound dramatically. Think about deep work, those long stretches of uninterrupted concentration. Research shows the quality and quantity of output from deep work far surpasses what you get from fractured, distracted effort.
So how do we cultivate that deep focus?
Several techniques really help. First, crystal clear goals. Vague goals equals vague focus. Be specific. Write 500 words on chapter 2 today, not just work on my book.
Huh?
Second, break it down. Big tasks are intimidating. Break them into small, manageable steps. Finishing a small step gives you a dopamine hit and builds momentum. Third, eliminate distractions. This is non-negotiable for deep work. Turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, put the phone away, maybe use noise-canceling headphones or website blockers. Create your focus bubble.
The bubble of concentration.
Exactly. Fourth, use Pomodoro actively. Those timed sprints train your brain to focus intensely, knowing a break is coming. Fifth, practice mindfulness or meditation. Even just 5 minutes a day focusing on your breath trains your attention muscle, helping you stay present and filter out mental chatter. Sixth, consider focus tools. Apps like Focus at Will use music designed to aid concentration. Project tools can help organize tasks to minimize context switching.
And the environment matters too, right?
Hugely. A clean, organized workspace signals to your brain that it's time to focus. Make it inspiring, but not distracting. And remember the compound effect. 10 minutes of truly focused language practice daily might feel small, but that's over 60 hours a year. Small, focused efforts applied consistently to the right things yield massive results over time.
That compounding idea is powerful. It makes me think about another angle. Our natural strengths. Surely focusing on what we're already good at fits the 80-20 idea perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. Leveraging your strengths is perhaps one of the most direct applications of the 80-20 principle. Your strengths are likely the activities where you naturally produce high results with less effort. They sit squarely in that vital 20%.
So how do we reliably identify our strengths? It's not always obvious.
Good point. It takes some reflection and maybe outside perspective. First, look back at your successes. When did you feel energized, in flow, and achieve something significant? What skills or qualities were you using? Note those down. Second, ask for feedback. Talk to people you trust, friends, family, colleagues, mentors. Ask them, when have you seen me at my best? What do you think my key strengths are? They often see things we miss.
Get an outside view.
Exactly. Third, you can use formal assessments like Gallup's StrengthsFinder or similar tools. They provide structured language and insights into your innate talents. Once you have a clearer picture, align it with 80-20. Ask, which of these strengths, when applied, generates the biggest results or impact? That graphic designer realizing their creativity drives 80% of their best work. That's the insight.
Okay, so identify them, link them to results. Then what? Just do more of that.
Pretty much. Prioritize activities that use your strengths. If you're a great communicator, seek out roles or tasks involving presentations, networking, writing. Lean into it. And critically, delegate or minimize tasks that rely on your weaknesses. If bookkeeping drains you and you're prone to errors, Hire someone or use software. Don't waste energy struggling against your natural grain in low-impact areas.
Outsource the weaknesses.
If possible, yes. And keep developing your strengths. Just because it's a strength doesn't mean you can't get even better, making that 20% even more potent. Think about synergy. How can you combine multiple strengths? Maybe you're both analytical and creative. How can you use that combination for unique problem solving?
Like Steve Jobs combining design sense with technical vision.
Precisely. He knew his strengths: design, user experience, vision, and he built a team to cover his weaknesses in engineering or operations. Oprah did the same with communication and empathy. They didn't try to be mediocre at everything. They focused on being exceptional at their vital few strengths.
That really highlights the power of focus. And it seems like the environment we create around ourselves can either support or sabotage that focus.
It's a huge factor. Your environment, physical, social, emotional, digital, acts like a set of nudges, either pushing you towards your goals or pulling you away. Creating a supportive environment is a strategic move.
Okay, so break that down. Physical environment.
Think clear space, clear mind. Declutter your desk, your office. Organize your tools so what you need is easily accessible. Maybe create an inspiration corner with things that motivate you. Make it functional and pleasant.
Makes sense. What about the social side?
This is huge. Surround yourself with motivators, people who uplift you, challenge you constructively, believe in you. Limit time with chronic complainers or energy drainers. Seek out mentors. Find accountability partners like a gym buddy or a writing group for shared motivation.
Curate your circle.
Absolutely. Then there's the emotional climate. How's your internal environment? Practice positive self-talk. Manage stress proactively with techniques like meditation or deep breathing. Build emotional intelligence to navigate ups and downs more smoothly. And don't forget the digital environment. Unsubscribe from junk email. Curate your social media feeds, follow inspiring, educational accounts, mute or unfollow negativity. Be mindful of your information diet.
Digital decluttering, I like that.
Yeah. And building this supportive environment isn't a one-off task, it's ongoing. Regularly assess what's helping, what's hindering. Plan small changes, implement them gradually. The more your environment aligns with your goals, the less willpower you need. And the easier it is to stay focused on your 80-20 priorities.
Designing the environment to make the right choices easier, that's smart. Okay, let's shift focus slightly. Relationships, they're so fundamental. How does the 80-20 apply to our connections with people? Surely we can't just cut out 80% of our friends.
Huh? No, it's not about brutally cutting people off. It's about where you invest your finite time and emotional energy for the greatest return in terms of happiness, support, and connection. The core idea, drawing from social psychology, is that often 80% of our relationship fulfillment, the joy, the support, the deep connection, comes from about 20% of our relationships, your vital few.
Okay, the inner circle.
Exactly. So the first step is identifying them. Ask yourself honestly, who consistently lifts you up? Who can you be totally yourself with? Who offers genuine support and encouragement? Who challenges you in a good way? Make a mental or actual list. These are the relationships to actively nurture. Like Sarah, who realized amidst many acquaintances, it was her 3 closest friends, Jess, Mia, Alex, who were her true anchors.
So you identify the core group. Then what about everyone else?
Then you strategically manage the trivial many. This means being conscious about how much time and emotional energy you invest in relationships that are draining, superficial, or consistently negative. It might mean politely declining some invitations or spending less time engaging in gossip or complaint sessions. Sarah decided to gently pull back from spending hours with acquaintances whose main activity was complaining. It freed up her energy for deeper connections elsewhere. The focus is always quality over quantity. Prioritize meaningful conversations, shared activities, real presence with your vital few.
Invest deeply in the connections that matter most.
Precisely. And actively communicate with them. Express gratitude. Share vulnerability. Deepen the bond. You can even leverage group synergies. If your vital few would likely get along, maybe bring them together occasionally. Sarah's weekend retreat with her core friends strengthened their individual bonds and their collective support system. And finally, it requires balance and self-reflection. Regularly check in. Is my social energy going where it brings the most mutual joy and support? Am I investing enough in my vital few? And here's that provocative thought again. Don't just identify your 20%. Aim to be part of the vital 20% in the lives of the people you care about. Be that supportive, uplifting presence for them.
That's a really beautiful way to frame it, contributing positively to others' inner circles too. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. Work, time, habits, focus, strengths, environment, relationships, bringing it all together. Here's where it gets really interesting. True success, true thriving, isn't just about smashing goals in one area. It's about finding that balance, that sense of wholeness. How does 80/20 help us achieve that overall life balance?
Well, that's the ultimate promise, isn't it? The 80/20 principle acts like a unifying framework for achieving balance because it forces you to identify and prioritize what truly matters across all domains of life. In your professional life, focusing on the critical 20% of tasks doesn't just boost performance. It frees up time and mental energy that you can then reinvest elsewhere, like in your relationships or health. Think of Jane, the project manager, gaining back hours.
Right, less work stress bleeds into better personal life.
Exactly. In personal relationships, intentionally nurturing that vital 20% deepens your connections and provides a stronger support system, which buffers stress from other areas. John spending quality time with family and close friends. For health and well-being, identifying the 20% of habits that give you 80% of the benefit, like Sarah's running, yoga, and diet focus, means you get maximum health returns without trying to follow every single wellness fad, which is exhausting.
Sustainable health habits, not perfection.
Precisely. For emotional balance, tackling the 20% of issues causing 80% of your stress, like Mark, managing deadlines better, directly improves your overall mood and resilience. For personal growth, focusing on one or two key skills or areas that offer the biggest leverage, Lisa joining the speaking club accelerates your development without spreading yourself too thin. And even in leisure, prioritizing the 20% of activities that bring you the most joy and restoration, Paul's painting ensures you actually recharge, making you more effective in all other areas.
So it's about strategically applying focus across the board, creating positive feedback loops.
Exactly. By using the 80/20 lens consistently, you stop trying to do everything equally, and instead you channel your limited energy into the high leverage points in each area of your life. That's how you build a balanced, fulfilling life by design, not by accident.
So the core message really seems to be identify the vital few, trim the trivial many. Do this consistently in your work, your relationships, your health, your growth, and you focus your precious energy on what delivers the most success and the most happiness. It's about working with intention, living with intention, and creating a life that genuinely reflects what matters most to you.
And maybe the final thought is this. If our goal isn't just about being productive, but about really thriving, then maybe the 80/20 principle isn't just some productivity hack. Maybe it's more like a profound invitation, an invitation to consciously design a life where your actions truly count, and where fulfillment isn't just a hoped-for outcome of endless effort, but the direct result of focused, meaningful choices. So the question becomes, what will you choose to prioritize to unlock that balance in your own life?
A powerful question to end on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.